Hello. Wishing you a very wonderful Bealtaine, which everyone says is Beltane. And I was laughing this morning because you'll get slammed for saying Samhain because it's pronounced Samhain. But if you say the real pronunciation of Beltane, which is more like Bealtaine, nobody knows what the heck you're talking about. So it's a little bit funny. Okay, let's see. Going live with Instagram here. Go, go, go. And just, I'll forewarn you that I had way too much coffee this afternoon. Anyway, I am also hijacking the first part of the color along for an art show because I decided to put all my remaining witchy paintings on sale for 25% off. Hello, Patty. Happy Beltane. So if you've been eyeing one of these paintings, they are now all on sale. And I want them to find good homes. They're just hanging out in my drawer. And it's so fun to send them out into the world. And it also motivates me to paint more stuff. So these are all at a great discount. This is one of my favorites. I think it's $112 free US shipping. This one I think is like $50 or less right now. Hi, Tony. This gorgeous tropical. I don't know how much it is. You can look at my Etsy shop, which is Amy Cesari Art. Speaking of things people can't pronounce, Cesari. Yes, this one is $135, and it's a big size. It's really, really beautiful. It's like a smoky, witchy beach cauldron. Various prices, but they're all 25% off with free US shipping. So if you've been eyeing one of them, now's a great time to bring it into your home. They're even more beautiful in person. So this is my little collection, and I'll be making more, but I think I had 23 of them. This one I did last Beltane. Just beautiful. Look at those roses and the highlights and the candles. Okay. Close up the art show. Hi, Tina. Wishing you a blessed Bealtaine. As we were talking about, nobody pronounces it correctly. Beltane. Which, I don't know. I don't slam people for mispronouncing things. Like I hinted at, nobody says my last name correctly, and I don't even say it correctly. I say Cesare, and it's more like Cesare. But we'll leave it at that. Okay, on to the coloring portion of the evening. And yes, if you missed it, I had way too much coffee already, so I'm like totally amped up. I was like kind of low energy for a couple days, but like, whoa, not today. Okay, so if this is your first time joining me for one of these, welcome. I call them chill or meditative coloring sessions. The point is to just relax and give ourselves the space and time to do a little bit of art and to not focus on the outcome, but just enjoy the process. So as much as we can, set aside judgment of what we're doing and just enjoy watching the color go down, listening to the sound of your pencils, putting the judgment and like what will other people think, will I like it, etc. Putting that all aside and just enjoying what we're doing. And I know sometimes that's easier said than done. So if you do find yourself judging yourself, don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up. That just doubles up. So let's just relax and enjoy. And as I've been doing for the past few weeks, I'm coloring in Coloring Book of Shadows, Bold and Easy Magic by me, Amy Cesari. And today I'll be doing this page. I think these are taking me about 45 minutes for one page in alcohol markers. So I'm going to try to finish the whole thing. We'll see how I feel in 20 minutes or so. So yes, alcohol markers bleed through. Here's the back of the last page that I did. So they're for single-sided books. And then I have my trusty scrap paper. Very important under my page. Otherwise, you will be sad because it will bleed through. So put the paper and then let this happen and don't worry about it. And enjoy your coloring. So I'm going to go, I want to do this look on this page. So I'm going to just like jump right into it. I have my swatches set here that I've used so far. There we go. Did I fix it? Ooh, my goddess. Okay, I think we're okay now. I think I got it back. Okay, tell me if you can see again. I can see it on my scoops. Oh my goddess. Technical difficulties. I can see again. So I think I got it working, but please let me know. Sorry about that. Okay. I think we're back. Okay. Yes, I think we're back. Whew. Okay. Stay on, internet. We're coloring live. It's Beltane. Mercury retrograde is over. Enough of that. So I'm starting with my darkest color. There we go. Hello, sentient star child. I'm starting with my very dark red. I've done it the opposite way where I did my lighter red first and then overlaid with dark, but I don't know. I'm not sure which way works better. I feel like this saves ink because you're not going over the lighter color. You're doing them down one at a time, you know, but I don't know. You could do it either way. Okay, I'm glad it's back. Good. Hi, Laura. Hello again. It's so annoying when the internet goes out. I always feel like it's my fault, but I know it's not. But I like to take responsibility, you know? It's my coloring session. So I'm just gonna do this all loosey-goosey without thinking too hard. Turn it around a little bit. Oh, and check your emails tomorrow. It's goat wallpaper day. I know I've managed to send you phone wallpapers 2 months in a row, and now I've done 3. So tomorrow you will get a freebie goat wallpaper in your email if you're on my email list. So sign up real quick if you're not. And I will also send you links to my painting sale. If you're into that kind of thing, you can check them out or just look at them. Yes, these markers are juicy. Hi, Julia. Someone else said, what are the benefits of using alcohol markers? Oh, Shannon, let me tell you all about it. There are benefits and there are drawbacks. So they're kind of expensive. They run out of ink. Your favorites will run out way faster than colored pencils. So they are totally not economical. They bleed through the page. So that's another non-benefit. That's another drawback. So you got to put the paper underneath, as I said, and use them in single-sided books. So yeah, and they're a little tricky. They can be a little tricky at first. Like there's definitely a learning curve with them. I know you asked for the benefits, but I'm telling you the drawbacks first. Because I don't want, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea about it. I like using them. I've always liked using them. I switched to pencils for a long time because because of those reasons. I thought their pencils are easier for people and more economical, a little more accessible. But markers are really fun. You get really rich color. You can color really smooth once you get the hang of it. Like, see how this red is super, super smooth? Obviously, the dark red, I made it wiggly on purpose. But you can get a nice smooth gradient. They're a little bit faster. They blend really well. Like, you can blend multiple colors together, which I'll show you in a little bit here. They're probably a little bit faster than using pencils, but it just depends how fast you color. And then, what I'm trying to think, what are the other? Another benefit is they dry super fast. You know how alcohol like dries in a second, like rubbing alcohol or something? They're great for thin paper because the paper doesn't get all wiggly. They're great for thin paper. I actually probably prefer them on thin paper because yes, they bleed through, but they'll bleed through thick paper too. But they dry fast, so you can blend and layer them on thin paper. Whereas if you used a water-based marker, the paper would rip and the paper would get like super wiggly. Like if I used watercolor on this, the paper would be warped. And like if you get a piece of paper wet, it disintegrates, right? But alcohol markers dry really fast because they're alcohol based. So that can be a benefit. But like I said, they really do run out of ink. And yes, you can get single replacements, you can get refills. But it's something to consider, especially if you don't have like a big budget for your art or you just want to keep it simple. Like I still would probably recommend just a pack of Crayola pencils. Like I've done so much with those and had so much fun with them, and they're so affordable. But of course, it's up to you. Maybe you have a big art budget. Maybe you just love the look of markers and you want to get into it. Then, it's okay to spend some cash on your hobbies if that makes sense for you, right? So hopefully that helps. Yes, they are rich. They're very rich, but you can get really rich colors with colored pencils too. But yeah, markers are nice and rich. So yeah, so that's kind of the benefits and the drawbacks. Just like everything, there's benefits, there's drawbacks and benefits. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I'm having fun with them. I do kind of miss my pencils and I'm going to get back to them eventually, but I'm going to see if I can color this whole book. 40 pages. It's kind of a lot. Like I thought 40 pages was not that going to be that many, but it's honestly kind of a lot. The most of my books are like more like 90 pages, and I was kind of like, dang, not that I've been over delivering. Not going to say that, but my books, let's just say they are worth it because there's so much to color. One will get you far. Okay. Cool. So look at this beautiful, rich red background. That was fun. Okay. Next. Yeah, so speaking of colors that run out fast, these lighter colors, I've gone through a few. And I've ordered refills because I've been doing like, this whole thing in these parchment colors. And they're my favorite so far. So like ordering the refill ink or singles. Yeah. Something to be aware of. Thank you, Anna Corey Drakensford. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying it too. Okay. So I picked up my lightest marker real quick, but I decided to go do the darker edges first. Yeah, I'm happy to give tips anytime. I know sometimes I don't say a lot in these, but sometimes I do. And like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, I drank a lot of coffee like an hour ago and had chocolate, which apparently has caffeine too. So I'm a little bit energized. And it's Beltane. I'm feeling it. Bialtina. Yeah, I'm probably going to take off early. It's early where I live, but probably take off work even earlier today and go to the ocean or do something, a little ritual. Get my husband into the pentacle. Surround him with crystals. Just kidding. Maybe not. Yeah, but it's a special day. So, and I wanted to mention that too. I know it's like Beltane, Bialtina, if we want to get technically correct, is celebrated May 1st. I can't remember. I'm blanking on my art brain is taking over. It's suddenly hard for me to talk. The common date is May 1st, but the actual astronomical date of the midpoint of spring this year is May 5th. So if you don't celebrate today, it's not over. You can have your ritual anytime this weekend or heck, even next week. So don't feel any pressure or don't feel like you missed it. If you're working today or you're tired or whatever, don't feel like you missed it. You can do your ritual. There's still time for magic. You can celebrate this evening or whatever, or this weekend. Anna is mentioning using pencils and markers together, which I have seen some gorgeous work of that, but I have not yet tried it. So that's something I'm going to have to try. But yeah, because you can get a nice background, like a nice rich layer with the markers, and then you can use pencils for details, is what I've seen. Is that how you've been using them, Anna Corey Drake Sanford? Anna Corey Drake Sanford. Sorry, I'm not getting your whole name right. Anna Corey L. Drake. Corey L. Drake Sanford. Anna Corey L. Drake Sanford is making coconut curry for Beltane, and that sounds phenomenal. And she uses pencils and markers together. You know how to party over there, Anna. Yes, that's right, Shannon. Celebrate the whole week. Yeah, it doesn't end tonight. There's plenty of time. And you won't miss it. You definitely won't miss it. I just reiterate that. So, coconut curry. No, I want some curry. It sounds good. I love coconut curry. My favorite restaurant over here, my favorite Thai restaurant makes a coconut curry with pumpkin in it. Oh, it's so good. It's a red curry with coconut milk and pumpkin chunks. I think it's, I don't know if it's kabocha squash. Oh, so good. And Thai basil. Phenomenal. Yeah, I love the parchment look as well. I kind of like want to keep it going for the whole book, but because I'm going through so many parchment markers, I have a couple options. Buy the refill and keep going through the parchment markers. Use pencils for the parchment background going forward. Or switch once I get to the end of this first little section. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'll show you in a second here. I'm going to color this real fast so I don't get, oops, let me turn my computer on. Color this fast so I don't get seams in it. That's another thing with alcohol markers. You can get it real smooth, but you got to go quick. If you let it dry, then you get like kind of a seam in the coloring. But if you go fast and you hit the edge before it dries, then you can get a nice, smooth, seamless look. But I try not to stress on that. I like variation, imperfections, texture. All of that to me, it just kind of gives me a sigh of relief. Going outside of the lines, I love that. Just lets me relax and make mistakes and not worry about it. And then like nature is not perfect. Has been lost. Oh, there we go. Yay. Because yeah, it throws me off when my connection is lost. Because I'm like, I don't know if they can still hear me. Should I stop? Should I wait? Anyway, we're back. And then Shannon asks where I live. I live on the island of Maui in Hawaii. Yeah. And then Shannon says, I've helped you to not be such a perfectionist. Yay. I know you Virgo types. Some of my best friends are Virgos. So I know how it is. But you know what? It just takes the fun out. And it's weird. The more we focus on being perfect, the less perfect we are. I don't know. Not that you shouldn't strive to be your best, but it's a touchy little subject. I don't have all the answers, but many years of doing art, I know the more perfect I try to be, definitely the less fun it is. I can say that with certainty. And then I think the art turns out better when you're not going for perfection too. in my experience anyway. So, oh, Patty suggests using pastels for the parchment background. You know, that's a good idea. Pastels would go fast. And pastels give a nice parchment look. That's a good idea. Oh, I was going to show you what I'm thinking. So after these next couple pages, 2 more pages, using your psychic powers section, I was thinking of just doing like blue and gold, like totally switching vibes for that section. So we'll see. By the time I get there, I will have the answer. Yeah, living in Hawaii is nice, Shannon. I definitely certainly can't complain, but you know, like everything, there's pros and cons and drawbacks and good. But I feel very fortunate to live here in such a beautiful place. I consider myself a guest, even though I'll probably live here for the rest of my life. It's not, you know, wasn't born and raised here. So I try to be a good guest. I just wanted to add a little warm tone to the center there. And then let's see, little warm tone here where like the fire is going to be lighting it up, kind of just kind of riffing on this next part here. A Libra from Indiana. Ooh, I like that. I like how I did the warm, the yellow and the beige kind of, so the fire is lighting it up inside. That was just sort of off the cuff, but it came out good. Okay, and we'll add more detail in a minute. Now I'm just going to be skipping back and forth a little bit. I'm just going to try to get some shading on the cauldron. I just have like warm grays here. I used a warm gray 2, and now I'm using a warm gray 4. Oh yeah, I mentioned the ocean. Yep, I live really close to the ocean. It's so warm right now. It's beautiful. My favorite tools to color with, I think I'm partial to, I like both coloring with pencils and markers probably equally. And I like to do watercolor painting. But as far as like coloring book coloring, I think I'm straight in the middle. I like pencils and markers. I don't think I have a preference. They both have their benefits, and getting back into markers was hard. Like it took me some practice, and I was unsure because it had been a long time since I'd used them, and I had to relearn. But now that I'm in the flow, I like it. I don't know, but I like pencils too. Like I kind of miss my pencils. Like I definitely, once I get a little more into this book, maybe finish it, I'm gonna go back into pencils for a bit. I truly like both. But other people can chime in the chat if you have other chime in the chat if you have your favorite coloring supplies. Anna that Libra from Indiana asks what book. It's Coloring Book of Shadows, Bold and Easy Magic by me, Amy Chesery. And then you can also get this art free in a mini format if you sign up for my Grimoire Club. So if you go to coloringbookofshadows.com, just scroll down the homepage a little bit, you can sign up and you'll get these in free mini printable sizes. They're really fun and it's totally free. You get one a week for 6 weeks, and then you get them at a slower pace. We're up to number 11, but they're super fun, and you can fold them. You can fold them into little books. Here's one. You can fold them into little books. Oh God, it's so cute. So yeah, But then these are new. The paperbacks you buy are new from this series. They're on my shop in Amazon. And then you can also buy a printable version. If you don't want to wait for a Grimoire Club, you can buy the printables. And it comes in both the mini foldable size and like a half sheet size, which is more like how the paperbacks are. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that. I think I explained that okay. Okay, now is the darkest. And I'm using a chisel tip right now. I have both chisel and brush tip for alcohol markers. I do find the brush tip to be easier. So if you're shopping for alcohol markers, you may prefer the brush tip. It's just softer and easier to blend, but chisel tip works too. Just have to kind of get used to the chisel. So this cauldron is a little funky, but I think it'll be cool once I keep going with it. I'm trying to add some texture to make it like wrought iron. Oh my gosh, and I have Harry Belafonte songs in my head right now. This one called Angelina. I don't know. Do you have songs that play in your head at a loud volume too? I certainly do. It was the Wicked soundtrack for like 3 weeks. But that's subsided a bit now and back to Harry Belafonte, so for what it's worth. And I'm just sort of letting loose here, adding some texture. A little funny, but I think it'll work once I'm all done. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes when you get too close to it too, it looks weird. Like I literally have to go look at something else, you know, kind of shake your eyeballs and then stand at a There we go. Okay, my connection's back. Sorry about that, you guys. Just in and out today. Anyway, I think my cauldron came out cool. It's a little funny, but you know what I might do is get my lightest. I added some texture in it, maybe a little too much. If I just blend that in, see, that's the nice thing about alcohol markers. You can get your lightest color and just go over it a bunch and it'll kind of smooth it out. And layer it up a little bit. Okay, leave that for now. I think that'll be cool once it dries. They also need to dry like when they're wet on the page. Sometimes it looks a little wet. Okay, time for greens. Boop, 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 boop. So by layering, like that's my super light green. Then you do like a little bit darker green. And you can just like add a little bit of shadow to it. And see how nice that looks? Without thinking too much about where to put the shadow, just add a little darker. That one I kind of colored the whole thing over, but that's okay. Okay, now I have to make a choice on the candle colors. I think they're going to be red. And I could have gone many different directions with the candle colors, but I'm going to go red. Just to keep with my color scheme. And yeah, that's about it. Then add a little bit of yellow. I left a tiny little white space here because I wanted to, there's not a lot of room there, but I wanted to add a little bit of the candle glow. You can see it better on this page. See how I like left blended yellow and green at the top of that candle? Makes it look fancy without doing a lot. So that's a nice way to blend color in. Okay. And then do up my flame tips here, not getting too fancy. My flame tips. That looks nice. Let's see, thinking in my brain. A tiny bit of the darkest orange. On my flame tips. Anna asks how I celebrate Beltane. Actually pronounced Bealtaine. Depends, but this year, you will see if you're on my email list, my Goat Magic email tomorrow. It's kind of interesting, like, because I like to strive for more, and I don't like stop and just to a fault. I don't like stop and just enjoy what I have and like where I am. And I always kind of felt Goat Magic was about power to reach your next level. And when I did my little goatee spell, she was like, your next level is just gratitude and enjoyment for where you are. And I was like, what? How is that my next level if it's not a new level? And it was kind of a riddle, but like I've literally never done that before. I'm like always striving. And so having appreciation and gratitude for just what I have right now is a new level for me. So it was kind of a trip. And that might not resonate with everyone because, you know, we all have different vibes. As I said in the email, not everyone has that what's next energy. Some people have already mastered gratitude of being in the moment and appreciation for what they have right now. And that's really important. But something I have not quite mastered yet. So, but it's something I'm becoming more and more aware of and working on. So I think that's kind of my lesson right now and my work. So I am going to celebrate by enjoying nature, go to the ocean, just really feel the abundance of the earth and, you know, celebrate what I have without, you know, wanting a thing more. And kind of subtle, but I think it's going to feel really nice. And it does feel really nice. And little Patty says, don't forget my little stars. I won't. Let's see. How about orange? And yeah. So I like to bake. I do like to bake pies, like recipes and stuff. I really do love baking pies, but I probably won't. I'm not really in a cooking mood right now. I've been kind of a lazy cook, to be quite honest. So I don't know if I will do any cooking. But I'm down with this coconut curry vibe that you guys are talking about. Laura said she's making a curry too. So maybe coconut curry is like the new Beltane recipe. Okay, so for my border, I'm going to add my gold paint. But just a quickie. I feel it works best when you do a little undertone of a similar color. Just makes it a little richer. Then you don't have to be so precise. So I'm just going to add a little brown. Super quick style. And let's see, what time is it? Yeah, these take me about 45 minutes. 40 to 40-ish minutes. It's been 40 minutes. Okay. Kuretake. Starry colors. Kuretake spelled like that. Kuretake. Kuretake starry watercolors. They're very reasonably priced. And they're super shiny. So they're great for gold accents. Adding a bunch of water, like you want to make it kind of soupy. I don't know if that's the one I've been using. It doesn't really matter. They're pretty similar. You want to make a nice thick paint, but you definitely have to add some water to it. They're so shiny. It's cool. This is just for a fun accent. Like you could do a metallic gel pen or something like that too. Okay. And then I have a paintbrush. It's kind of, oops, my paintbrush is a little too big, but that's okay. And then just, I'm going to do the border, maybe a couple other accents, but mostly the border. And I'm going to totally go out of the lines. Went out of the lines a little more than I wanted, but that's okay. I'm going to do my border in a shiny gold. Yeah, as I said, a gold pen would work great for this too, but the watercolors are so shiny. Look at that. Look at that gold sheen. So awesome. I could have done that a lot neater, but that's okay. Try to do this without getting my hand in the paint. I have to turn it around this way. Okay, that's that. Oh, so golden. Yeah, I could have done that neater, but it's okay. The overall look's going to be cool. It's just part of my style too. Like if you're a really neat colorer, that's great. You can make yours neater. Oops. Okay, that's a little wild even for me. Try to do that one better. Try to get some little gold flame tips. And then my splatters. Oops, sorry, bonked the camera there. Cat C82 from Santa Cruz. I lived there for a long time. I lived in Boulder Creek, actually, in the Santa Cruz Mountains. But we spent a lot of time in Santa Cruz. A lot of time in Santa Cruz. That was date night. I miss the boardwalk a lot, I gotta say. Has its pros and cons, but the boardwalk is a lot of fun. If anyone has seen, oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. That vampire movie, Lost Boys. That was filmed in Santa Cruz. Okay, so now I'm splattering. I'm just like tapping my brush with one finger like this with a very wet, soupy paint. And it adds all these beautiful splatters, which I am a fan of. Some people think it's tacky, but too bad. I'm going to put them on. I'm going to like it. And then I think that's about it. That's about it for today. Sometimes it's fun to draw just random lines and stuff. So maybe a couple of those. You can like do shimmery flame things by just like, going like that outside of a candle. And I think that's it. So beautiful. Ta-da! Laura, is the splattery paint more watered down than the paint on the frame? I think so. Yeah, you kind of got to make it a little bit more watery to get the splatter going on. But you can practice. I would say practice first before you go into splatters. But look how beautiful. And that's my page for today. So thank you for coloring with me. I might start this one on my own this week, but if not, I'll continue next Thursday, same time, same place, with one of these pages, and we'll continue on in this book. So have a wonderful Beltane. Thank you for joining me, and wishing you magic. Okay, bye.